Marquita, and I am here doing just another video. It's random. I have been filming videos, just talk about random things. I'm sorry for the 1 a.m. upload. Like I said, in that video, if y'all watched it, if y'all haven't, I'll tell you what it was about. I was watching, like usually at night when the girls go to bed, I watch CNN or Fox and Friends. Is it Fox and Friends or just Fox News? Whatever it is. Fox News. I don't have cable, so that's where I mostly get my cable, basically, cable TV. And I was watching it last night, and like I got really freaked out because sorry, excuse me. A guy, I heard more of the story, but I stopped it like without hearing the full story. But it was basically like what I was saying in the video. It didn't change. My views right now didn't change as it did last night. I'm just more calmer, and a man shot himself in the north. What was it? The north lawn. The north lawn, which the dude that was talking about it, he was saying that the way that it is like the north lawn, north lawn, that it could be, here, Savannah, put your headphones on. Residue, put your headphones on. Put your mustache on. I'm thinking, push your back. Do you got the splitter there? Oh no, it's still on mine. No, it's still on mine. I was just looking for it. He and the man was saying that it could be where the bike racks is, or it could be on the actual lawn. Now, I woke Gary up last night, and the girls were sleeping, he was asleep. But I woke Gary up, and I'm like, Gary. And he's like, what? And so I was like, I couldn't really form a sentence because I was so freaked out. And I was like, Nikolai, he struck again. Now, if y'all haven't seen my other videos, Nikolai is the man, the Antichrist that was on Left Behind, in the Left Behind trilogies. And so, if y'all haven't seen my other videos, go check it out, and you'll understand what I mean by Nikolai struck again. And so, what scared me was, like when I was telling Gary that, he's like, okay, well, was he in the White House? And I'm like, no, they said he was on the North Lawn. And because they shut the whole White House down. And Gary's like, they wouldn't shut it down unless he was inside the gate to the White House. And especially, I mean, it was a good thing Trump wasn't there. He was in Florida in his his vacation home in Florida. Now, what was weird about that is, okay, they shut the whole building down. That's like, okay, safety measures need to go. They shut the whole building down. But when they was like, he was outside, or he was like outside the building, how many weeks ago was that they redid the windows and stuff?
I don't remember how many. It's been a year or two, I think.
Well, whenever somebody took shots at the White House. They redid the windows and doors and stuff to bulletproof them. So, okay, let's say that the man was going there to shoot. One, the building would have been like extremely protected. And two, even if you're not from this country, you would know that at Friday about 4:30, Trump is on vacation until about 8 o'clock Monday morning. So he goes on vacation every single Friday afternoon to Monday morning. He's always on vacation. Now, you might not always know where he's at on vacation, but more than likely, it's going to be at one of his 3 resorts. You might not know which one he's going to right then, but you know that he's going to be at one of his 3 resorts. And so happened he was at his Florida resort, golf resort. And the man, okay, let's say if the man knew where Trump was going to be. The man went from Georgia to D.C. Now, if you know geography, Alabama to D.C. If you know how, if you know about geography, it will be more closer to go down to Florida than it would be to go to D.C. So I say I don't think the man shot himself. Now I hope he didn't shoot himself, and I hope this little stuff, because I don't know if the man died or lived. I can't find nothing else about it. I heard about it last night. I freaked out. I haven't heard nothing else about it.
The only eyewitness they found said he heard a shot, turned around, and then heard a second shot, saw the guy die, but he never saw him put up his head.
Yeah, so...
But somebody else shot him.
Yeah, so if he
just dropped and he didn't put the gun to his head to kill himself, then obviously somebody else shot him and they're covering it up.
Yeah. But if y'all seen the Left Behind trilogies, you will understand why that freaked me out. And, okay, let's say that the man was killing himself. Why would they have shot the man in the head to stop him from shooting himself? That don't make sense. And, okay, if he had the gun up, because this is what they said, that he suffered from a what is it, Gary?
Inflicted.
A self-inflicted. Sorry, I couldn't think of inflicted. Y'all know me. Every day I'm losing more and more words. And it's not from lack of talking, because y'all know I can talk. But it was self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Now, I would understand if he was shooting it at the building, if he was pointing it at people, then yeah, shoot him in the shoulder or in the arm, in the hand, so that he don't shoot nobody. Don't shoot that's another thing. I don't believe that you should shoot to kill unless there's no other options. Now, what's popping in my head is the shootings by the officers that's been going on for about 2 years in Harambe. I'm still messed up about Harambe. I don't think that he should have got shot. I really don't. I really don't think that they should have killed Harambe. Now, I might be on this box of soapbox.
Soapbox, yeah.
Soapbox is what it is?
Yeah.
I might be on this soapbox by myself, but I still don't think that Harambe should have been shot and killed. I don't know if an elephant tranquilizer would have been strong enough, if it would have been too strong, or, I don't know. I think that they should have, I don't know. I don't think that they should have killed him. That's my point. And I find that the mother of the little boy should have to pay Peter or somebody, because I have 2 kids, and I know I'm not taking my 2 kids by the zoo to the zoo by myself, because I know I can't keep up with them. I cannot keep up with 2 4-year-olds running around. And at the time, I think my girls were 2.5. So I knew, like at 2.5, no. Like Aunt Margie and Bubba and Sissy went to the park. Went to the went to the zoo with them a lot. But I mean, see, Bubba Luke was what, 8 at the time? Yeah, because I think he just turned 10, and I don't know if Sissy Brianna or if any of the girls, because I don't know. The point of it was Aunt Margie, and then it was kids, but sometimes it was like multiple adults. So for the amount of kids that went, whenever they went, I was okay with them going with Aunt Margie and Bubba and Sissy and the other people. I was okay with that, because I don't think, and I can almost say, guaranteedly, I know that Margie will not let anything happen to the girls, and so I trust her. But me, by myself, I would not take my girls at 2.5, and at 5, I would not take them to the park, to the zoo by myself, because I'm not that confident. Now, I am their mother, and I would die before I let anything happen to them. But I'm not confident in my ability as a person that I would take them anywhere by myself. No, because I know how they are. Savannah, she gets a wild hair in her. She gets she gets a thought in her head, and she has to act on it. That's what type of personality that she has. That's the kind of person she is, and I love her for it. But I don't have that. I don't have that type of personality. I don't have that. I'm going to think about it, and I'm going to go over different scenarios in my head before I act on it. That's the type of personality I have. When I see a problem, I have to at least have three different endings to the problem before I can solve it. That's just me. I'm very, I tell people, if I get into an argument with them, I'm not sorry for what I said. I am sorry in the way that I said it. But I tell everybody I'm not sorry for what I said, because I don't say anything without thinking about it first. Now, I know that sounds like, oh my gosh, if you say this about somebody, you're a total BI. Yes, I might be perceived as a BI, but I'm not sorry for what I said. I'm sorry the way that I said it. That's my thing, because I think about everything before I say it. I really do. I don't know. My brain is weird, because I won't even go into that. When I get to know y'all, I'll let y'all know how my brain works. But just know that my brain is weird. Anyhow, so even when I'm having an argument with somebody, I stop and I listen to their side of the story. And if I agree with their side of the story, even though me and that person's arguing, I would give them that courtesy. Now, I know that people don't give me the same courtesy, but that's me. I'm not a tit for tat person. And if y'all look at my other videos, if y'all know me, y'all know that I'm not a tit for tat person. Meaning, I don't do things for recognition. I don't do things to be like, okay, I bought you a drink. Now you owe me a drink. No. If I buy you a drink, if you ask for it, food is the one thing then I typically I don't say no to anybody for, because I'm fat. And if I'm hungry, I'm going to ask somebody for some food. If I'm not hungry, I'm not going to ask for nothing. And like if somebody's like, okay, well, I'm getting McDonald's, do you want anything? If I'm not hungry, I'm going to say no, thank you. Like, you don't have to get me something just because I'm with you. And if I'm hungry and they ask me, do I want something? Then I will accept it. But if I'm not, I don't accept it. And my mama, she gets mad at me. Like, we're like polar opposites, because she's a tit for tat person. My mama and my daddy. Like, I don't know where I got my genes from, but I did not get it from them, because they are so alike. They are so alike, and it's like not even funny, because I didn't know that they were that much alike until I got back in touch with my daddy. Because I seen my daddy when I was like all the way, of course, from birth all the way up to probably about 5. Then I seen him at 7, and then I didn't see him again until I was 23. So, and then that's when I met my little brother Coda. He was 2. But I did not know. Like, I learned things about him that I didn't know. I didn't know he drunk. Now, I grew up with my mama. She's a mean drunk. I knew that. Seen it every day. Knew that. I didn't know my daddy smoked cigarettes. Grew up with my mama. Seen her every day. She smoked. Okay, not shocked, because of course I was with her. And then I didn't know that my daddy cussed. And I know everybody's probably like, what? You didn't know your daddy cussed? No, I never heard him say a cuss word. Not until like when I was up at 23 and we were talking to him, and he went outside to smoke a cigarette. He put his beer bottle down to get up and go outside to smoke a cigarette. And I'm just like, wait, what? Like, when did you start smoking? When did you start drinking? Like, you said a cuss word? Like, I'm shocked. Like, oh my gosh. I didn't know anything about him. And I will give the credit to my mama that I never knew that he cussed, drank, and smoked, because my mama never talked bad about him to me. Like, I didn't know. Like, of course she knew that. That's how they met. They met when they got married. They showed up drunk to their own wedding. So it's like everybody else was just, like, everybody was stone sober, but they been up partying, having fun. They showed up to their own wedding drunk, and they got married in blue jeans and a white t-shirt. And I always said, when I get married, I want to get married in blue jeans and a white t-shirt in a barn. But if y'all also see my other videos, I want to experience everything. Meaning, I want to get married, blue jeans, white t-shirt, jumping over the broom, breaking the glass. What else scary? What else did I say? It's like a lot of things. Yeah, like I want to experience everything. Like, I love different cultures. And I always, like, I didn't know nothing about a quinceañera until I was freaking 25. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is a quinceañera? Oh, it's okay. A quinceañera is, is a Spanish, the Spanish speak 16, but it's only 15. And I'm just like, I want to have a quinceañera. I had a sweet 16 birthday party, which my mama ruined. She didn't let me go to the Backstreet Boys concert. That's another rant. I made a video about it. Y'all know how I feel. If y'all seen the video, y'all know how much I love the Backstreet Boys. But anyhow, I won't go into that, because then I start getting angry at her. Yes, it's been, over 10 years. Almost 20 years. Almost 20 years. About, 18 years? Still mad about it like it happened yesterday. Still mad about it. Oh, and don't get me on my t-shirt. I really just need to change the subject. Anyways, I wanted to experience everybody. No, it's not funny
It's a
because
hot subject, yeah. I'm just
you know how I feel about my T-shirt
I know.
in my Sweet
I
16
know.
birthday. Gary knows he's
I get
baiting it.
tickled at how
No,
quick they bang,
no,
you're hot,
because
that's hard and everything
because
working out.
no, that it wasn't no fair because that was my T-shirt at the beginning at the end of the day, and that was my chance to go and meet Brian, and I could have probably been his wife instead of Leanne.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He wasn't that much older than 16. He was like maybe 21. I don't know how old he was. I don't care. But anyhow, I digress very angrily. I want to experience all cultures and all holidays and all that. I didn't have a 21 birthday party. Well, I did have a 21 birthday party, but of course, in the fashion that she does, my mother, she tried to mess that up, which it kind of was messed up because, okay, see, this is what happened. I'm going to tell y'all. When I turned 21, I've been having my own apartment since I was 18. I was in state custody at 16, and I aged out of the system. What that means is, when I got 18, I signed myself out of state custody. Now, in most cases, when kids age out of the system, they sign they pretty much go to court, and they have to sign themselves out of the system, and they have to get out wherever they're at. If they're in a group home, if they're in a foster home, they have to leave because at that time, the state is not paying the group home or the foster home or wherever money for that said child because that child is now a legal adult. So you have to leave. Now, in my case, I got really lucky. I got super lucky. When I turned 18, I aged out of the system, signed myself out, but the group home that I was in was like, okay, well, you're still in high school. You can stay until you graduate high school, and then we will find you a college, and we will pay for you to go to college. Okay, well, what happened for me to leave the group home, I went on winter break, on Christmas break. I went to Kingsport, up my cousin's house. I call her my aunt because my mama is an only child, and so she grew up with her cousins, and yeah. So my mama's grandmother raised her, and her granddaddy raised her. Mama and Papa raised my mama. My mama was an only child. She had no other siblings, or at least no siblings by her mama. And so she was raised with her cousins. And I say that, so I went up my cousin's house, but like I said, I call her my aunt. And it was, so I was up there for, was I up there for Christmas? I might have went up like Christmas Day, but like I was over my cousin's house on Christmas Day, and then I was over my cousin Carissa's house on Christmas Day. Then we went up to my aunt's house, which is her real aunt, because Carissa's mama and my cousin aunt is are sisters, but my mom also calls her mama her sister. But anyhow, so I was there, and then I went up to Kingsport on Christmas Day, and so I was up there till New Year's Day, and I brought in New Year's with one of my best friends, Heather. That's a funny story. I'll tell y'all about it if y'all want to know. It's a funny story. And so I was up there and so I then came home, came back from my Christmas break on January the 1st. Well, it was this one girl. And Terry, I'm calling you out, heifer. You know who you are. Terry Chamberlain. She had a disorder where the palms of her hands and the soles of her feet sweated. Now, if you know me, you know that I don't like to be physically touched at all. Like, sometimes when I get overwhelmed, like my girls wants to hug me, and I'm just like, I cannot physically be touched right now because it feels like I just want to just rip my skin off. That's, yes, my thing to bear. And like, I just tell my kids, look, I need 5 minutes. I need 5 minutes. And so now when they want privacy, they go, I need privacy. I just need 5 minutes. So it's really funny. But me, I physically feel like that I just want to just rip my skin off when I feel like that. So she knows that I don't like to be touched. I hate to be touched. And this is like, I was 18 at the time. So, and I'm 34 now, and I'm still like that. I've been like that. Probably started at 14. I think I started feeling like that at 14, where I just like I don't like to give people hugs, because then you will be in my triangle, which I call my triangle, my lips all the way down to my kneecaps. That's my triangle. You're not allowed in my triangle unless I invite you. And I don't really like people that close to me, because I feel like that they're breathing in my air. So I immediately start holding my breath. Well, then I'm like not breathing. So I just need you not to be that close to me, because I feel like I'm suffocating. So she knew that I don't like to be touched. And especially when her hands were wet. Oh my gosh. No. And I came back from break, and I think she came back like the day before. And so I came back from break, and she, oh my gosh, you're back. And I'm like, Terry, don't touch me. Because I see that she took off her gloves to come and give me a hug. Now, her gloves have special powder in them, and she wore them to cut down on the moisture in her hands. So I'm seeing her take off her gloves. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, she must be having a sweaty day today. And she comes and she wants to give me a hug. And I'm like, Terry, don't touch me, because you know your hands are wet. No, they're not wet. They're not wet. So then she's sitting here playing with me. So then she touches me. And so I immediately just like I don't punch her, but I take both of my fists and like I push her back like that. And of course I get in trouble, because 1, she's 15, and 2, I'm 18. And then 3, I'm like attacking her. So this old woman named Elizabeth, that bitch, I'm sorry to cuss, but she is what she is, had a nerve to say, you didn't take your medicine. You're on 24-hour campus or 24-hour room restriction, 72 or 48 hours campus restriction, and then 72 hours, what was it, TV restriction, TV and phone restriction. First of all, I didn't talk to nobody on the phone, so I don't care. Take my phone restrictions away. And then 72 hours, you tripping. You are tripping, because you know I like TV. And like, really, like, give me 72-hour room restriction, because I'm a homebody anyhow, and I don't need to be in like I don't care nothing about staying in my room. I don't want to see y'all anyways. And campus restriction, I didn't need to go nowhere anyways. I just got back. And then TV, that's the only thing that I cared about. So I was like, excuse me, I'm like, I'm not on no restriction. And she's like, yes, you are. You punched her. You didn't take your medicine. I'm like, first of all, how do you know I didn't take my medicine? I was like, you don't know if I took my medicine or not. I said, you wasn't there. And she's just like, well, you're just angry. Well, okay. She's putting her nasty wet hands on me. So I'm like, you know what? I don't have to be here, because I done something myself. And I was state custody like a month ago, because, you know, my birthday is November the 29th. And this was August. So, yeah, a month ago, I'm here on my own free will. I don't have to legally be here. Like, you can call the cops on me, but all they could say is, well, she's not a juvenile, so we can't take her to juvenile court. She technically didn't do anything wrong because she was protecting herself. Because she tried that, and I was like, okay, she touched me. I told her not to touch me. She knows she wasn't supposed to touch me, so I was defending myself, which I was. And I mean, yeah, maybe I didn't have to use my fist to push her physically back. I didn't punch her. I did not punch her. I did put my fist on her chest and I pushed her back. If I punched her, I would have came into her chest. I didn't. I put my fist against her chest and I pushed her back. And I just strong-armed her back. So I didn't punch her. I just pushed her back with my fist. Y'all probably like, no, you punched her. I didn't. Because if I punched her, I would have put all my weight into it, because I was like 380 pounds, so I had some power behind my fist if I really wanted to hurt her. I did not hurt her. She went back and she didn't cry. She just was like, oh, okay, well, you just don't want to be touched. Of course I don't want to be touched. I told you not to touch me, like, before you touched me. Anyhow, so I walked out of the building. I walked, I really can't even tell you how many miles I walked. Anyways, I walked to Lonsdale. And if y'all know where Florence Clinton Agency is, on Dicklonish Road. And I walked all the way to Lonsdale. And everybody don't think that I really walked that much. But I did. I really did. And then I walked there and I found my mom. Well, I actually found my sister. Then I found my mama. And then we went to a homeless shelter like the next day, because and they let us stay there because legally, or actually I wasn't supposed, we weren't supposed to stay there because, where we stayed at Salvation Army, at Joy Baker Center, it's only for people, women with kids was the only ones allowed to stay there. But because I was in school, because when I walked, I already made up my mind. I'm dropping out of school. You know, all I got is 5 months left of school. I'm done. I decided I'm 18. I'm not going back to school. But then when I went to when we went there, they were like, well, because she's 18 and you're an adult and you don't have any other kids and she don't have no kids, y'all can't stay here. And then they were like, but if you go back to school, or if you are getting enrolled in high school, then you are considered a child and you can stay here. If y'all don't know anything about me, I'm not street smart. Not by no means. I can't go outside right now, me as an adult, and I can't thrive overnight. I'm not street smart. I can't survive. And so I'm thinking, okay, I can't be homeless because I won't survive. I don't know how to survive. People might be like, okay, well, if you eat this steak covered in mushrooms, you will lose weight, and then find out, oh, it's tripping mushrooms, and hear my fat butt eat it. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't know. I honestly think that I would have died if I was homeless. But that's just because I couldn't survive. I don't know how to survive. I wouldn't know how to survive on the streets. So, my mama actually got kicked out of she got kicked out of the homeless shelter. A month after we got there, because she came in intoxicated, and she was like, well, okay, well, come on, Marquita, they're kicking us out. And they told me, right there in front of her, you can leave with your mama, or you can finish high school. We pay for your school dues, which my school dues were $80. at Austin East Magnet High School. And I really did not want to graduate from Austin East. I wanted to graduate from Central. I went to Central through 9th grade, 10th grade. Then I got in state custody in 11th grade. But I picked a group home that was zoned because I was too old to go to a foster home because I was 16. And so the next best thing that they had for me was a level 1 group home. And so I went to a group home that was zoned for Central, Powell, and Halls. And I got to choose which school I went to because all 3 buses came by the group home, which if you see the group home, it was in a commercial building. Like when I say commercial building, you wouldn't even knew that it was a group home. You would have thought, okay, well, because Mr. Glass, not Mr. Glass, is it Mr. Glass, Gary, the one that's on Central Avenue Pike?
I think.
Mr. Glass and
yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, then it was like 6 other businesses, like a glass, like a place where you can get eyeglasses. Like I said, it was in a company thing. Like you would not know that there was a foster home there unless you knew about the foster home. And like all the other kids that were in the group home, they always told everybody that they lived in an apartment building right beside the group home, because there was an apartment building right beside it. I told everybody, like, it was no shame in my game. Like I didn't say that they didn't live in the apartment building. I just said I didn't live in the apartment building. And like you wouldn't know that we didn't live in the apartment that I didn't live in the apartment building, because like we had to literally walk probably about 5 minutes to the group home. So it's like you can go this way or you can keep going straight to the building, because it's like literally right beside each other. So you wouldn't have knew which building I was going into because I was walking that direction. But it wasn't no shame in my game. I was there. I was in a group home. I was in state custody for no fault of my own. But so yeah, so I was in that level 1 group home. What was I getting at with that? But I wanted to go to Central, so they were zoned for Central, so that's the group home that I went to. Which them people, it was not a good circumstances. They shouldn't have been a group home. They should have fostered young kids. And what I mean by that is I was 16 when I went there. The mother or the woman of the group home was 22 and her husband was 23. Okay? I can respect you and call you Mr. and Mrs. But you, like, I would call somebody Mr. and Mrs. if that's how I'm introduced to them. Okay, I do that for respect. But when you lose the respect, like they did with me, it's very hard. Like I literally bit my tongue every single time I had to talk to them because of how they treated me. Now, I have always been big. I actually started gaining weight because I was like really like unhealthily thin all the way up to age 10. But that's because I just didn't gain weight. And then all of a sudden when I gained weight, it was just like I gained weight. Like fast. Unhealthily fast. But I did. It was like going into 6th grade is when I gained like a lot of weight. And Like I said, I was big.
Still talking.
I'm not saying that I wasn't big. The problem I had with them was because I have always had a speech problem. And I still, to this day, sometimes I say ask, A-S-K, or sometimes I say X, because I'm used to saying X. And that's what I always said. That was my little slang. That was my little thing. I always said X. But, I do say ask sometimes. And the thing that they always said was when, I had a genuine question. And so I always said, well, can I ask you something? And then they go, well, no, you can't ask me anything. We don't want to die. These people, they're 22 and 23. It's first of all, you're freaking younger than my sister. Or you're the same age as my sister. Come on now. It's I'm freaking Dope Vine at this point. Fight me. It's come on now. You're not that much older than me, and then I have to respect you, but you're not respecting me. No, they should not have been a group home for teenagers, I should say, because they were married and they had a 1-year-old, probably a 15-month-old daughter. Okay, well you should be a foster home for kids about that age, because you know how to take care of that age. You're barely out of the age range that you're fostering. I was the oldest there by a couple of months. But yeah, so they shouldn't have been foster parents or group home parents. And then another thing that they did that was evil, and I say that they're evil, for them to be church-going people. They were willing to play a ha Halloween joke on me. And if they would have did that prank, it would have resulted in me killing myself. And they were willing to do that to see if I was going to do it. Yeah. It was that serious. But I then, in front of them, my caseworker came to ask how things was going, and I said in front of her, if it wasn't for their daughter, I would have been killed them. That's exactly what I said. I was like, and I don't want to be here. Please find me somewhere else. And it was, that was October. And then my birthday came, which it was another girl's birthday, Amanda. It was also her birthday. And and Amanda wanted to have a sleepover birthday. She wanted to celebrate her birthday with a sleepover. Well, I could have celebrated my birthday by having a party. But they were like, if you celebrate your birthday with a party, and she celebrates her birthday with a sleepover, then you're not allowed at her sleepover. Well, first of all, where am I going to go? If I'm not invited to her, which she told me, she's like, you're invited. I mean, literally, I guess I've been standing outside. I don't know where I would have went, because I couldn't go nowhere if she was having a summer party.
Explain the room.
Oh, okay. In each room, okay, there's 4 rooms. In the no, actually there was 3 rooms. I'm sorry, there was 3 rooms. And in each room was 3 people. And at the time, it was me, Melanie, and Michelle. We were in one room, and all 3 of us was in high school, which it made me mad that they did not make Michelle wear clothes to go to sleep. And when I say all three of us is in the same room, you walk into our bedroom, there's 3 beds. There's 3 dressers, there's 3 nightstands. There's no walls separating either one of our beds. It's just an open room with 3 beds, 3 dressers, and 3 nightstands. Okay, I am not a lesbian, and there's no shade, no shade to lesbians. I just don't want to wake up. If I want to wake up in the middle of the night to walk literally across the room to leave my room in the middle of the night, I don't want you to all of a sudden have a hot flash and I'm seeing you laying in your bed butt naked. You're 15. Put on some clothes. Come on now. So I was mad that they didn't make her wear clothes. And so, like I said, me, Melanie, and Michelle, we were in one room. And then the room right beside us was Dominique and Amanda. They were the only 2 in their room. But they had a third bed for, if it was another girl coming in. And then in the boys' room, which was Tim and Eddie. And then, of course, there was another bed in the boys' room. And then that was like all the rooms that were on the group home, the group home side. Now, what separated the group home side from the foster peoples, the group home people, I should say, apartment, because that's what they called it, was a door, and they locked the door. So say that I needed something in the middle of the night, like say that if I was a diabetic and I needed orange juice in the middle of the night to bring my sugar back up, I would not been able to got to the kitchen, because like I said, this was a commercial building. There was 2 doors to that side of the group home. There was one right here, and then there was one on the other end, near the boys' side. There was 2 doors, and they locked them every night. Now, I agree that they should have locked it so that nobody would be getting into the kitchen and stuff, but then there was another door. Okay, say that you get into where the living room, it's the living room and the kitchen and dining room and laundry room part of the apartment. They still had a door that was to their apartment. That is like when you're in the living room, there was a door that was in the living room that was their personal apartment, meaning they had, their daughter had a room, and then they had a room, and then they had, of course, their own bathroom and stuff. But they didn't have their own kitchen, because the kitchen was we all shared the same kitchen, same dining room stuff, same laundry room. So with that, but they had their own apartment, Is that what you want me to talk about?
Yeah, I was just explaining why if she had a sleepover.
Oh, okay.
You would pretty much have to leave the building.
Yeah, I would have to leave the building, because there would be nowhere for me to sleep, because I couldn't go in Amanda and Dominique's room if she's having a slumber party, because their room is like right beside my bedroom, and I wouldn't be allowed to go to her party. So like by default, I had to have a slumber party birthday, and I invited my best friend at the time, Leah, and she came over, and the day after my birthday that year was on a Wednesday. I remember, because we had the party on a Friday. Me and Amanda did. So we had a party on a Friday, and then Saturday we went to Dollywood. Now that was the very first time I ever went to Dollywood. The problem that made me mad was I had a Like, they took my friend Leah back home. And I didn't know we were going to Dollywood. I didn't know that was a part of the celebration. It was, but not for my friend. What I mean by that is, I didn't know until like the next morning when we're in the van heading to drop Leah off that, okay, well, from us dropping off Leah, we're heading to Sevierville to Dollywood. I'm like, okay, well, can Leah not go? And then they go, oh, well, we didn't buy her a ticket. I'm like, okay, I got like $8. I don't know how much Dollywood costed, like at this point in time, because I never been. So I don't know how much Dollywood is. And I was like, could she not just run and get money from her mama to go? Oh, well, we don't have time. No, y'all just didn't want my friend to go. So I didn't have the option. My friend didn't have the option to go to Dollywood with me. And Amanda had her friend that because Dominique invited a friend, and then Amanda, of course, it was her birthday, she invited a friend. Now, Dominique's friend, her mama came and got her before we left to go drop Leah off at her house. And Amanda's friend got to go to Dollywood with us because her mama sent money to go to Dollywood. Now, what made me mad about that was she's like, oh, well, her mama sent money. Okay, well, how did her mama know to send money? Now, her mama, and the girl was a sweetheart, and the woman was very nice. You know, the girl went to church with us. So, I mean, you know, she was a good girl. But they didn't like Leah based on Leah was not religious in any way. I still think to this day, I don't think she's religious. I don't think she believes in God or the devil. I just think she's not religious. And so they were prejudging her off of that. And that wasn't fair, because you can't force her to believe in God if she doesn't want to believe in God. But she wasn't coming in like trying to convert anybody to not believe in God. It's just you found that out about her and you're using that against her. She did not do anything wrong. She didn't say anything to anybody. So it wasn't like you would not knew that she didn't believe in God unless you knew that about her. That's what I'm saying. And since this girl went to church with us, she, I guess, was perceived as being good. So we drop Leah off at home, and we then go to Dollywood, and then Monday morning comes. So this is Saturday when we go to Dollywood. So Monday morning, which is December the 4th by this time, I get woke up at 5:55, or no, actually it was 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, my bus don't come until about 7:55. And of course we had to be at school, you know, in class by 8:30. So my bus came between 7:55 and 8 o'clock, because Central wasn't that far from where we was. So I wake up, so they come and wake me, or the mother of the group home come and wake me up, and she's like, get up, or she goes, wake up and pack your bags. And I'm like, what? So I'm freaking out, because I'm like, what do you mean get up? So I'm like, what? She goes, oh, get up, pack your bags, you're leaving. And I'm like, wait, what? Where am I going? And so I'm like, I'm crying at this point, because like I said, I'm not street smart. And I just turned 16, or I just turned 17. I don't know how to live on the street. So in my head, you're waking me up at 5 o'clock in the morning, telling me to pack my stuff and I'm leaving. I'm like, where am I going? She's like, I don't know. So I'm then thinking, oh my gosh, you're putting me out on the street. Because I wanted my friend to go to Dollywood. Because like I said, Saturday, we went to Dollywood. Friday, we had the party. Sunday, we went to church. I'm not knowing that I'm leaving until she's waking me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I then, and by this time, Michelle's up. And she's, going, because she took a shower every morning about 5:55. 5:55. So Michelle's up. She's taking her shower. Melanie gets up because I got my light on, and so she's up. So I'm packing my bags. I'm sitting here crying because I'm not knowing where I'm going. And then, so I pack my bags and I take my bags to the living room. Because now the doors are open because all the kids are getting up. They're getting ready, for school. And they, of course, open the doors because, if you want oatmeal for breakfast or something, if you want to eat it at the house, you can eat. So both doors are open now. So I'm sitting in the living room with my stuff, and I'm like I'm crying because in my head they're putting me out on the street. I'm not knowing where I'm going. I don't know how to survive on the street. I'm not street smart. So they were like, oh, well, your caseworker's on the way to get you. And I don't know where she's going to take you, but you're going somewhere else. So I'm calm by this time. Because I'm like, okay, well, they're not just putting me out on the street. I'm like, I don't care to leave, but like, you got to tell me, like, pack your bags, your caseworker's coming to get you, taking you somewhere. And I would not have cried. But I thought I was going to be put out on the street. That's what I thought. So, yeah, so I left there on December the 4th. Went over to Florence Creighton, which was a level 2. And the only reason why I was going to a level 2 was because, one, I told my caseworker to move me. Because if it wasn't for their daughter, I would have been killed them. And that was real. Because I felt like I was being tortured in that home, especially when one of the people that was in the group home, one of the kids, told me that on October the 31st that they were going to play this joke on me. And he knew that I was serious when I said, if that happens, I will kill myself. And he told me, and which he didn't want me to hurt myself, because he knew how serious I was. And it was crazy because I been knowing him. See, I was 3 and maybe he was 2.5. Like I knew him, and I knew his mama and his mama's boyfriend. But like when he was telling me this, he was still 15, and like I said, I just turned 17. He didn't remember me because he was 2.5, I was 3, but like he knew that I knew who he was, because I was like, oh yes, your mama's this. He goes, yeah. And I was like, your mama's boyfriend was this. And he was like, yeah. He's like, oh, you do know my mama, me, my mama and her boyfriend. Like, I didn't know he had a brother, but I didn't know his brother. Like, his mama didn't have custody of his brother when I knew him. He had an older brother. But yeah, so he knew that I was serious when I said that. So he told me about the joke, and I then told my caseworker. And so they didn't do it because they found out that I knew about it. It wasn't that they didn't do it because that might be too mean. They didn't do it because they knew I knew about it. So, like I said, the people was evil. So I went over to, and so I was in level 2 because, one, I threatened the people. I was like, you gotta get me up out of here. And that was the closest. That was the only place that was in Knoxville. Now, I could have went to the level 1 group home in Nashville. I didn't go there because I didn't want to leave Knoxville. I knew nothing but Knoxville. I was born in Rogersville, Tennessee, but I've been living in Knoxville since I was 2.5, and so I've been living in Knoxville for like 32 years because I'm 34, and so I knew nothing but Knoxville. And so I didn't want to leave Knoxville for that reason, because I knew nothing but Knoxville. And so that was one reason why I went to a level 2. And then I also went to a level 2 because I was on different medications. Like, I had a lot of doctor's appointments for mental health, which my problem wasn't the mental health. My problem was I had nobody to listen to me. And if I would have had a therapist that would listen to me and not try to prescribe me medicine, I wouldn't have had 2 therapists and 1 psychologist or psychiatrist, whichever one prescribes medicine. I wouldn't have had the medicine doctor, and I wouldn't have had 2 different therapy doctors if I had one that wasn't trying to put me. Because even the therapist was like, well, you seem really depressed, you just need to be on medicine. It's like, I don't need medicine. My problem is I don't have anybody to listen to me, and I don't have I don't have anybody to listen to me, and I don't like change. And I went from living at my mama's house, abusive as it was, I went from living at my mama's house to going into a group home that reminded me of home. The reason I wasn't in my mama's house, I just went from one abuse house to another abuse house. And then I went, or let's say I went from, okay, so my whole summer changed. I will say that. So May, I went from raising 2 kids, I'm not going to say by myself. I went from raising 2 kids to me coming home from school and my 2 babies being taken from me. Now, yes, they were not my physical kids, but I took care of them from the time I got out of school, high school, till I had to get up and go to school the next day. I had them that whole time. And, my little baby man and my little chunky monkey was then gone from my life. I literally came home from school, was expecting to get my 2 babies, and there was a woman there taking my kids. And I'm like, why are you taking my babies? Like, if y'all seen Losing Isaiah, I think that's the name of the movie, Losing Isaiah, that scene when they put him in the back of the car and he was screaming and crying you know, for like when Holly Berry got him back, you know, because she was his mom in the movie. When it went from, like, when he went from not knowing Holly Berry, like not knowing anybody except the woman that raised him for the first 4 years of his life, to him getting placed with this woman that just because she is his biological parent, he don't know her, and him being stripped from the only home that he knew. That situation happened with my little baby man. Now my little chunky monkey knew, she didn't know anything about it because literally it was a day before her first birthday, and that messed me up because I'm like, I'm not going to get to see her tomorrow for her first birthday. And then my little baby man, he only knew us for 2 years. You know, he didn't know why this woman was taking him away from, you know, his granny and his Kita, you know, and yeah, he has his baby sister, but like he knew nothing. He just was like ripped like from his comfort off of, and the situation is bad, and it's not my story.